August 2026 is packed with releases, but some of the biggest winners this month might not be the ones everyone expects. Marvel characters in an anime fighting game, Game Freak making something that has nothing to do with Pokemon, Metal Gear Solid 4 finally escaping the PlayStation 3, and a Star Wars strategy game from developers who actually know the genre. No particular ranking, let's get into it. Marvel Tōkon, Fighting Souls, hitting PS5 and PC on August 6. I have never really shown on this channel, I'm a huge anime and Marvel fan. Put those two together and you get a game that's basically built for me. It's made by Arc System Works, the same studio behind Guilty Gear, and that pedigree shows. Fighting Souls is a 4 vs 4 tag team fighter with 20 characters at launch, every one of them redesigned in anime-inspired style. The focus is on team composition, assists, and finding combos across different heroes and villains. It also ships with local multiplayer, cross-platform online, big online lobbies, and a single-player episode mode. Visually, this is one of the best-looking games of the month, but it's full anime style, so if that's not your thing, this one isn't for you. I also don't see how 8 characters can be on screen at once without turning into pure chaos, but if I trust anyone to pull that off, it's Arc System Works. Fighting Souls has a lot of hype behind it, and I get why. Personally, it's just another chance to prove I suck at fighting games. Beast of Reincarnation launches August 4, 2026 on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, PC, and with a day one spot on Game Pass. At first glance, I see monsters and corruption everywhere, and I think okay, medieval fantasy, I can get into that. Then, it turns out, this is post-apocalyptic Japan in the year 4026. Full Souls-like combat, and now I've got near PTSD flashbacks, because I still don't fully understand what happened in any of those games. You play as Emma, an outcast because she has no memories and emotions. Her companion Ku is a corrupted dog who by every rule of this world should be her enemy instead of her partner. The animations look great and so does the combat. Ku gives you a more strategic layer to how you approach fights, and building Emma with all the different gear and skill choices looks generally deep. I'll be looking forward to this one. Just please, don't make the story too convoluted. And honestly, the biggest twist here isn't the setting, it's that this is a Game Freak game, and it has nothing to do with Pokemon. Now that I did not see coming. Hell Let Loose Vietnam deploys to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC on August 13. To all the Call of Duty and Battlefield fans, if you ever wondered what a real tactical war game feels like, this might be the closest you'll get without jumping into a full military simulator. Forget about running around the map chasing killstreaks. Hell Let Loose is slow, methodical, and built around teamwork. The massive 50 vs 50 battles that made the original so popular are back. Winning here comes down to communication, following orders, and working with the rest of your squad. One player cannot carry the entire team. Vietnam could have easily been nothing more than a risking. Instead, it completely changes how battles are fought, with a very exciting asymmetrical gameplay. American forces rely on helicopters for transport, supply drops, and fire support, while the North Vietnamese army uses tunnels networks to reposition, launch surprise attacks, and disappear before you even know where they came from. All that make the battlefield feel very different from the original. If you're looking for a fast-paced arcade shooter, this probably isn't for you. But if you've been waiting for a multiplayer shooter where teamwork actually comes first, Hell Let Loose Vietnam looks like it could be one of the month's biggest surprises for you. The Sinking City 2 arrives on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC on August 18. Imagine if Resident Evil had all the lore, monsters, and cosmic horror of H.P. Lovecraft. That's essentially what the Sinking City 2 is trying to be. Arkham has never looked scarier, and your protagonist decides it's a good idea to come into contact with an ancient god. Trust me, that's never a good idea in Lovecraft's world. Frogwares is making a very bold change here. The studio built its reputation on detective games like Sherlock Holmes and the first Sinking City, but this time, they're going all in on survival horror. That decision will either make or break the game. What I appreciate is how honest the developers have been. They've openly said that moving from detective games to survival horror has been a huge challenge. If they pull this off, The Sinking City 2 could easily become one of the biggest horror surprises of the year. Resonance, A Plague Tale Legacy, launched on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC on August 27. Consider me biased on this one. As a Greek, I was genuinely surprised to see a game set in Crete, the home of the Minotaur and the Minoan civilization. This is a prequel to the first two Plague Tale games, but this time, we're leaving Amicia and Hugo behind, and stepping into the shoes of Sophia, 15 years before the events of Requiem. Unlike Amicia, Sophia is already a smuggler and capable warrior. She arrives on the island, searching for answers while being haunted by visions of the ancient hero Theseus. What worries me the most is the much bigger focus on combat this time around. The first two games were always very careful with combat, making every encounter feel dangerous, instead of turning you into an action hero. I really don't want this to become just another generic action-adventure game. The story will have to carry a lot of the weight, and if there's one thing Asobo has consistently delivered, it's that. I'm not really sure though they can create a relationship as memorable as Hugo and Amicia's. Either way, I'll be there day one. I owe it to my Greek heritage. Mortal Shell 2 drops on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC on August 20. Many Souls-likes are content with copying what came before them. Mortal Shell wasn't like that. It's one of the most distinctive games in the genre. It had a lot of good ideas. My favorite was the cell possession mechanic, and it's returning in the sequel with a number of cells expanded from 4 to 8. Every fallen warrior you inhabit comes with a different build and playstyle. The ambition was there, but the budget wasn't. Mortal Shell 2 doesn't just look like a sequel. It looks like the game the original wanted to be all along. It's set in a compact but interconnected open world with more than 60 dungeons, more weapons, more upgrades, and deeper exploration. And while bigger isn't always better, it certainly helps if the level design stays sharp and the environment stay interesting. One last thing, removing the stamina bar is basically blasphemy for a Souls-like. I'm genuinely curious to see how they'll balance the combat. Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2 launches August 27 on Switch, Switch 2, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Not a new game, but easily one of the month's biggest releases. It's honestly ridiculous that Metal Gear Solid 4 has been trapped on PlayStation 3 for almost 20 years. Thankfully, that's finally about to change. The biggest addition here is Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriot, finally playable on newer systems. Peace Walker also returns in HD, with online multiplayer for up to 6 players, while the collection includes Metal Gear Ghost Bubble, the MGS4 database, the soundtrack, and a handful of bonus extras for longtime fans. The historical value of this collection isn't in question, the execution is. We've all seen remasters and collections ruined by lazy ports, poor optimization, and inconsistent frame pacing. If Konami gets this right, it will finally give one of gaming's greatest franchise the modern collection it deserves. If they don't, it will be remembered as another missed opportunity. Here's hoping they do right by Hideo Kojima's legacy. Star Wars Zero Company comes to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC on August 27. A Star Wars XCOM style game? Just take my money. A tactical Clone Wars game made by former XCOM developers almost sounds too good to be true. XCOM 2 is one of my favorite games, and the first mod I was always adding, it was about Star Wars. The familiar action points are back to spend on movement, attacks, abilities, and gear, so every decision could mean the difference between victory and watching one of your favorite characters get blasted into another galaxy. Between missions, you return to the Den, your headquarters, where you recruit new squad members, upgrade facilities, manage your equipment, treat injuries, and build relationships between your team. And those relationships aren't just there for role-playing. Stronger bonds unlock combat bonuses, while your decisions throughout the campaign shape how your squad feels about you and each other. I can already see myself abusing the quick load button after convincing myself that permadeath was a good idea. I honestly can't wait to get my hands on it. Okay, wait a minute. 3 of my most anticipated games all launch on August 27. How am I supposed to play all of them? Well, as a gamer, this is probably the best kind of problem to have. But now it's your turn. Which games are you picking up first? And did I miss any August releases that deserve a spot on this list? Let me know in the comments, and as always, enjoy the grind!